how you doing? So it's been a while since we talked about Doctor Who. Before I get into talk about it though, I do have a bit of a thing I'd have to ask. If you can, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Help like boost that algorithm and all that stuff. Be great. So, moving on. Um, as of recently, in Doctor Who, we had the return of the character of the Rani.
We danced once upon a time, you and I, at the siege of Persephone, with the city burning around us. People said we were lovers. Can you remember, if that's true?
For, Gatwa's era. So, before this, though, we have Katie O Mara, who originally played the role of the Rani.
Back! This is idiotic. You'll injure yourself.
Why should you care? Since you were exiled from Gallifrey, you've had nothing but contempt for all other Time Lords.
My contempt started long before my exile.
So, let's look back at her time as the character. But before we do that, though, I have a question for you. We are... For you. So, Katie O Mara originally portrayed the Rani in two, serials. The Mark of Rani and Time of the Rani. What was the Mark of the Rani about? The Mark of the Rani was, during the Sixth Doctor's era, and he finds himself fighting off against the Master and the Rani. And as well as a third time one. So this would be the first time, having met the character, and at the same time, you also have the double trouble of having to deal with the Master.
Well, well, well. The Rani.
You were expecting to see the Master?
To see? Not exactly. He was burnt to a crisp the last time I saw him.
Your smugness is misplaced. He's here. He's very much alive, and he wants vengeance. Curse the pair of you.
Well, since we're insulting each other, I can't say I care much for your taste in clothes. Doesn't do a thing for you.
And, yeah, I kind of think this was probably especially during this time, was the best time to introduce this character. And, yeah, I think she does a pretty good job of, in a way, saying, like, hey, yeah, this is me. This is the Rani. This is who the character is and all that. So, one thing I bet you didn't know is that, yes, the Rani, she also had a TARDIS.
Motion is relative.
You wouldn't say that if you met my uncle.
Dismissing our position as decadent heresy is the refuge of the reactionary.
Ah, well, every dogma has its day.
Kill him!
As well as in this thing is that the Rani, she is a bit of a scientist. Amar would return as the Rani in and the Rani. This was the debut of the Seventh Doctor, Sylvester McCoy. And this would be her second appearance and the final appearance as the character. But it wouldn't include the charity run, which was Dimensions in Time. So one thing that the Rani's goal in this one is that she is hopes to achieve control of a approaching asteroid composed entirely of a strange matter. And this episode consisted of 4 parts. Back during this run of the show, back in the classic era, the show was consistent part 1, part 2, and part 3. And, these were serials, so, nowadays, say you would have something similar, you'd have, the Wish World, and then the War reality, but at the same time, it wasn't we're gonna stretch a story for a very long amount of time.
No welcome?
You're not.
Here's a bit of details about it. Prior to being cast as the character, Douglas Canfield wanted to cast her as Petra Williams in Inferno, but she was busy filming other things, in this case, the horror of Frankenstein. She was also episode that she, like, this was a charity episode, was Dimensions in Time. It was a 2-part episode. It was broadcast in 1993. This was part of the Children's in Needs, like, episodes. So what happened in this one is that the Rani had captured the first and second Doctors as part of the plan to assemble a menagerie of all sentient life forms from throughout space and time, hoping to use them to gain control of all individual minds in the universe. But one thing that she needs to have is that she needs to have a human from Earth. So in a way, like, say, okay, this will help me. What ends up happening though is she creates a temporal trap to make sure, okay, Doctors, stay here.
You can't escape, Doctor! Say goodbye, Doctors! You're all going on a long journey!
And, like, after this, she would also, be involved in the audio commentary for the Mark of the Rani. So, yeah, looking back, the Kate O Mara, she had helped, like, put the boots down for a character that, in a way, would be a character, like, say, okay, like, fans are interested in this character, they want to see her return, they feel like saying, okay, this is a bit of a change, in a way. So, did you ever get the chance to watch her run as a character? But then again, like, when I say that, I do mean, like, say, yeah, this is, like, the show is on Tubi, so, or, like, say, maybe there are VHS copies of this as well. Or did you ever get the opportunity to watch this when it appeared on television during its run? See ya!